Today we celebrate St. Paul of the Cross, born all the way back in 1694 in Italy. Daddy ran a small dry goods store, and Paul was the second of 16 children. He was educated early on by a priest, made great progress, and at the age of 15 left school and started to work on his own. He taught catechism in the churches near his home. He experienced a conversion to a life of prayer at the age of 19. What happened was he read St. Francis de Sales' book, Treatise on the Love of God, and it became his lifelong conviction that God is most easily found in the passion of Jesus. He left his work helping his father to join a crusade against the Turks who were threatening Venice, but soon realized that being a soldier was not his calling. He returned to help Daddy in the family business. On the way home, he stopped at Novello, where he helped an aging, childless couple. They offered to make him their heir, but he declined. His uncle tried to arrange a marriage, but Paul said, "Marriage is not for me." When his uncle died, he kept only his uncle's breviary. And then he was 26 years old. He had a series of prayer experiences that God was calling him to form a community revealed and based on the passion of Jesus. A legend tells that in a vision he saw himself clothed in the habit he and his companions would wear. With the encouragement of his bishop, who clothed him in the black habit of a hermit, Paul wrote the rule of his community. It was to lead a penitential life in solitude and poverty and contemplate the passion of Jesus. After a short course in pastoral theology, the brothers were ordained to the priesthood by Pope Benedict XIII in Rome. After ordination, they devoted themselves to preaching missions in parishes and in remote places where priests couldn't really make it. The first retreat was opened on Monte Argentario. The community now had 9 members. Paul called the monasteries retreats to underline the life of solitude and contemplation. More than 2,000 of his letters have been preserved. He died in 1775 at the retreat, the monastery of Saints John and Paul. By the time of his death, the congregation founded by Paul of the Cross had 180 fathers and brothers living in 12 retreats, mostly in the Papal States. His major shrine is the Basilica of St. John and Paul on the Caelian Hill in Rome, and St. Paul della Croce is the titular church in Rome, dedicated to St. Paul of the Cross, built in 1983. So there you go. St. Paul had a vision, followed the vision, saw Christ, followed Christ, saw a chance for holiness and followed holiness. And that's how the saints did it, and so can you and I. God bless you. Amen. Alleluia.